There are some friendships so complicated that even decades later, people still struggle to understand them. On the surface, the story of Eric Clapton and George Harrison sounds impossible. Two legendary musicians. Two defining figures of their generation. And at the center of their story, moments of admiration, heartbreak, loyalty, and forgiveness that seemed almost too extraordinary to be real. For years, fans wondered how their friendship survived everything it endured. And as Eric Clapton reflected on George Harrison in later years, many listeners found themselves asking the same question. What was the truth behind one of music's most remarkable relationships? The answer begins long before fame reached its peak. Both men emerged from a Britain that was rapidly changing. George Harrison became part of a cultural phenomenon that transformed popular music forever. Eric Clapton, meanwhile, was earning a reputation as one of the most gifted guitarists of his generation. They traveled different paths, but both were driven by the same passion, a deep connection to music that seemed to transcend everything else. When their worlds finally collided, a friendship quickly developed. Those close to the story remember a bond built on mutual respect. Harrison admired Clapton's extraordinary guitar work, while Clapton respected Harrison's creativity and quiet wisdom. In many ways, they seemed like opposites. Harrison often appeared thoughtful and spiritually curious. Clapton carried the intensity of an artist constantly searching for something just beyond reach. But here's what most people never realized. The friendship would eventually face challenges that could have destroyed it forever. As their careers exploded, the pressures surrounding them grew equally intense. Fame brought opportunities, but it also complicated personal relationships. According to interviews and accounts shared over the years, emotions became tangled in ways few could have predicted. Rumors circulated. Headlines followed. Fans became fascinated by the personal drama surrounding some of the people closest to both men. And that's when everything changed. For a time, many believed the situation would permanently damage their friendship. From the outside, reconciliation seemed almost impossible. Yet those who knew Harrison often described him as remarkably forgiving. Rather than allowing bitterness to define him, he reportedly chose a path that surprised many observers. At the time, nobody fully understood what was happening. While the public focused on controversy, something deeper was unfolding behind the scenes. The two musicians continued sharing a profound connection through music. Years passed. Careers evolved. And somehow, the friendship endured. One of the most powerful turning points came when Harrison launched new creative projects and continued inviting talented collaborators into his world. Clapton remained part of that circle. According to insiders, their shared love of music repeatedly brought them back together, even after difficult chapters. Then came another moment that revealed the depth of their bond. As Harrison faced serious health challenges later in life, friends and family gathered around him. Those close to the story remember an atmosphere filled not with celebrity, but with humanity. Suddenly, fame no longer mattered. What mattered were the relationships that had survived the storms of life. The loss of George Harrison left a profound impact on many people, but especially on those who had known him personally. In later interviews, Clapton often spoke about Harrison with affection, admiration, and gratitude. The reflections felt less like stories about a famous Beatle and more like memories of a cherished friend. Honestly, that may be the real truth people were searching for all along. Not scandal, not betrayal, not conflict, but forgiveness. In many ways, the story of Eric Clapton and George Harrison became a lesson about friendship's ability to survive circumstances that seem impossible to overcome. Their relationship wasn't perfect. It was human. And perhaps that's why it continues to resonate with audiences today. Their music remains timeless. Their influence continues shaping generations of artists. Yet beyond the records and performances lies something even more enduring. A reminder that people are often far more complicated and far more compassionate than headlines suggest. And maybe that's why this story still matters. Because sometimes the friendships that endure the greatest tests become the ones we remember most. If you enjoyed this story, share your thoughts in the comments below. We'd love to hear which George Harrison or Eric Clapton song means the most to you. And if you enjoy exploring the untold stories behind music legends, be sure to like this video and subscribe for more cinematic documentaries. Because sometimes the most powerful note in a lifetime of music isn't the one played on stage, it's the quiet grace that remains after the final song ends.